What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Rex Righteous, and I'm back with another Raf Rants. This poster I found on Twitter, and I was extremely motivated to make a video because I know that I have WWE fans on my subscribers list. So come on, let's take a journey into the old school style of wrestling because my Mount Rushmore is not going to be nothing about past 2000s, you know what I'm saying? All my stuff is going to be pre, and if they dig it into the 2000s, by that time they were already living legends or greats. So I'm going to go with four superstars. You tell me if you agree or you disagree, and leave your list because I would like to have a nice big conversation with all my subscribers if you are WWE fans or wrestling fans. So I'm going to start with number four, which is Macho Man Randy Savage. The reason why I picked this guy is because he looked like a next door neighbor, but at the same time, he was, ooh yeah, extravagant and knew how to carry himself. His voice was very unique, the beard, the look, everything. He aged well, his whole style aged well. I wish I would have met this man, but the fact that he uh, played baseball and his dad had a wrestling company at one point, and he did kind of like Bret Hart did, where he took the wrestling company to another level, so like that they could be looked at a little bit more, was very commendable. He has a brother. He talks about him all the time. They were not much similar. They don't really have too many characteristics that are the same, but I just love his story. I think Macho Man, it has a great story. He was very respectable in and out of the ring. He had his problems. He wasn't perfect. I like that he did a little bit of rapping too. That was funny. But the flying elbow, man, I thought that was super over the top, like eye popping. Uh, I can't think of any other move that is so like wow, this move is just great. It's just phenomenal. And when he does it, he makes it look awesome. Shawn Michaels. I heard that he was inspired by Macho Man's elbow, and the way he does it is really cool too. But I love the fact that he incorporated that into his move because it looks so cool when they do it. But Macho does it different ways, and because I mean, come on, WCW, he did it a different way. He did it like on a like really like cool level. um I was always in awe of his energy, the way he wrestled. He never took a second off, so much respects to him. He is the Macho Man. No one could ever duplicate what he does. He's the king, man. He's the king. You gotta respect that guy. So that's my number four. Number three is The Rock. Everybody that knows me, when I was a young kid, when I was around 11, 12, 13, 14, The Rock was my guy. I wanted all his shirts. I wanted to support him. I thought that he was so cool, and I love the fact that he was Samoan, and he had that charismatic look to him. You know, the clean cut look. Even before he became The Rock, he was Rocky Maivia, and at that time, 95, 96, 97, 94 even, I thought the coolest looks was British Bulldog and um, Bret Hart. Um, I love their finishers. British Bulldog with the power slam at the end. Um, the Rock had a very similar style of a finisher, and he was really like ready to go. He looked like a complete wrestler, and he went away for a little while, and then he joined the Nation of Domination. Now, I thought the pairing with him, Farouk, the Godfather, D'Lo Brown was perfect. Their facial reactions was perfect. The fact that they were old school, and they just pulled us in. Godfather and Farouk, they pulled us in without us knowing. Because for me, when I last time saw the Godfather, um, he was Kamala. He was this kung fu karate black dude with tattoos, and he was like a total badass or whatever. It was around the time where it was like Savio Vega and whatnot, and there was like all these styles of wrestling where it was kind of like Lionheart, but in wrestling. And if you ever seen the movie Lionheart with Jean-Claude Van Damme, then you know what I'm talking about. But regardless, um, this whole style of like catching us off guard was happening all the time because the Nation of Domination never knew what The Rock was gonna do. So then, if you take that and you go towards what he became, the Versace suit wearing and all that, the mic skills were phenomenal. The wrestling skills were phenomenal. Everything he did in the ring was over the top. And if you think about how he was single-handedly changing the look of the sport, of the way wrestling was put together, I don't need to have Stone Cold in my top four. So whether you agree or not, that's cool. I get it. But I don't need to have all these guys fighting for one spot when one guy is all I need. So like I don't need Hogan if I have Macho Man. You see what I mean? And I'm gonna have some another conversation about Hogan again when it comes to my top four. But I don't need Hogan if I have Macho Man, because I truly believe that Macho Man pushed Hogan. He pushed him to a new level. He pushed the wrestling business to a new level. And I feel like the same way with The Rock when it comes to Stone Cold. Now, Stone Cold is in my top 10. I have to have him because Stone Cold is a part of history in wrestling, and he he can do it with anybody. I think he can go with anybody. But I'm getting aside from the point. The Rock being over the top, being so consistent as well, not needing the title in order to show that he was a great champion or a great in general, is like how you're supposed to do it. And he brought a lot of eyes to wrestling. So I'm always gonna give The Rock the utmost respect. He's definitely on my Mount Rushmore. Next is Bret Hart. Um, some people might say I'm a little too loyal to him, um, but for me, it comes down to the fact that he knew who he was. He was confident in who he was, and he could fight so many styles. So some people might say that he was very serious. I thought he was pretty serious. I liked him because he was serious like that. He caught my attention. I thought his mic skills were above average. He wasn't trash, but I thought he was above average, and I thought he commanded respect. I mean, how else were you gonna listen to what Bret Hart had to say if you just thought that he was only good in the ring? Now, Shawn Michaels was his rival, but Bret had wrestling matches with everybody in that time, in that era, except for Hogan. So I always feel like he was slighted on that. And just because he was slighted on that purposely, I feel like he deserves the one up. Because how many times could this man get slighted? And how many examples could there be of him being the man and people being jealous of him and him not getting his just due? And we're just gonna be like, oh well, I guess Bret shouldn't have been so hard on himself or blah blah blah. Nah, man, he gave birth to evil Vince McMahon. You know, he switched it up. He was the one that rolled the dice, and he said, "F it, I'm gonna do what I gotta do because I see where this business is going, and it's going crazy." Now, I need to add this because this is an opinionated piece, but if you look at WCW and you look at what they did with Bret, it wasn't that great. But in my opinion, I thought that if you look back at the last matches that Bret was having the last year or two in the WCW, it wasn't that bad. If you exclude the whole stuff that happened with Goldberg, it really wasn't that bad. Um, and imagine if he would have kept wrestling Goldberg, if he would have kept these things going on, because he was supposed to be bringing back the NWO in a different format and a different style. It would have been really cool to see it. So, the fact that he had the matches with Sting, he pushed it. He's like, yo, let's do it. I love that, and we kind of got so short on that. And some people just don't even remember the WCW years. They're kind of hard to watch, but um, I think he didn't do that bad. So next is The Undertaker, greatest of all time, in my opinion. Go, 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 go. And this is another reason why I don't have to have Hogan in my Mount Rushmore. Um, Man, where do I start? Basically, when I was introduced to wrestling, Undertaker and Hogan were like the most important wrestlers of that time, of that era. You name it, they were the most important. Taker being who he is, having that presence, and also being able to be over the top with the look, brought a sense of fantasy to the sport, but at the same time it also made you think, you know, what is he gonna do next, or who can stop him, or he was very unstoppable at that time. You always knew he was gonna come back, so that was the scary part. How the hell are you gonna be able to stop this man? So knowing what I know now about the body, about the human body, and how a lot of things that he did were him sacrificing his body, the fact that he was like very meticulous and he did the same moves so repeatedly that it just caused me to be like, man, this dude is really, really, really putting it on for us. And the fact that he never changed is crazy. I'm I'm still one of the believers that the Undertaker Badass was sort of to cover Stone Cold not being able to come back for a little while with the neck injury, or when he didn't want to wrestle at that time because of his neck injury. I might be inaccurate. I've read it somewhere. I don't know if it was from Undertaker's quotes, but regardless, if you look back around that time, um, that character needed to be vamped up, and he brought it. He brought it, because when Brock Lesnar showed up, he was like, "Let's go, man." Brock Lesnar was only around for 2 years around that time, and Taker was like, "Let's go." I loved it. He carried WWE. We're talking about WWE superstars. So, um, Sting is on my top 10 WWE superstars, but he kind of falls in because he got inducted to the Hall of Fame, so he is technically like a WWE superstar. But if we're talking about top four WWE superstars of all time, Taker has to be number one, or at least on your Mount Rushmore. I put him number one because you know he held it down for so many years and consistently, in the same fashion every single time. He would never bring you shit. If he did, it was because we wanted him to do quote unquote one more match. So if you're a wrestling fan, let me know what you think with my Mount Rushmore. Let me know if you have one that you like, that fits better for you, or that you've seen online that it's like undisputable. But for me, this one is undisputable as well. Undertaker, Bret Hart, Rock, Macho Man. Four kings. So maybe we can do a female one. I don't know. But in the future, I would like to keep talking more wrestling with you guys. Like I said, comment, subscribe, like, share. Let me know what you guys think. Peace out, and look out for more videos from your boy Rex Righteous. Peace out.
Oversleep, so y'all concerning me less. Accustomed to the heat, so it's burning me less. A shepherd to the sheep, a paternity test. We show that I'm your father, boy, learn some respect. You feel that? That's my foot on your motherfucking chest. I swear I wrote the book on how to come for your neck. Pull your card, your numbers up, crumble your deck. What's a lion to a dinosaur? Call me Righteous Rex.